Good evening, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. It's still the 14th. Thanks for tuning in. For those of you who was joining us during the live feed today, thanks for taking the time out of your day to see what was going on. Definitely nice to see you all, and it's very helpful. Some of the people who made me aware of the technical issues that happened at the beginning of the podcast. We were having some errors even before we started, technology, everyone trying to use things online. So we started off the show with no audio, latent audio, buggy audio, some glitchy stuff. We did our best to keep it going. The content's really good, about an hour and a half worth of content. So most of it was saved and salvaged. Some of it we lost. About 5 minutes at the beginning of the podcast where Tia was sharing her story about her experience, bad experience with Valentine's. Short of it is she went to a club called CB3 or Zoom. I'm assuming in Mississauga. I can look it up, but ain't nobody got time for that. But the long of it is that she was given the keys. Unfortunately, she dropped them somewhere. Frustrating night, obviously, because when you lose something, it feels bad. Plus, when it's somebody else's and it's a car, that means you're not going to be able to get home, so you can understand the stress associated with that. Then some dude found it, but instead of just handing the key over, play some kind of game with her in regards to be like, yo, you need to come over here and get these keys. Obviously, Tia, loyal, committed, and wanting to go home, she's going to go follow and get the keys. Unfortunately, the experience led to her being jumped. So our reaction, Stephanie, Andrew, and I, appalled, disgusted, upset, feeling bad for our homegirl, Tia, being sent to the hospital because some jerks wanted to do whatever. So definitely, if there was an award for worst Valentine's experience, I would say she won that. But where we're at right now is continuing from that part. So it's going to jump into the rest of the programming. Enjoy. And thanks. And again, happy Valentine's for those who are celebrating. For those who aren't, there's still love in there for you, even if it's love for yourself. So, man, whichever way you spin it, just make today your own, either with someone or Ryan solo. Anyways, peace. And we'll catch you in the next episode of Sassy and Savage. Later.
Sam, what was your worst Valentine's Day?
Well, fortunately enough for me, I haven't had a worst Valentine's Day, but I have a kind of a funny story. So every Valentine's Day, I would get, every time I would get flowers from someone or whatever, for middle school, high school, I would take them home because I'm not allowed to have a boyfriend. So I would take them home every time and pretend that they were for my mom, and my mom would be so happy. She was like, "Oh, my daughter loves me." But
that's a finesse.
I can't come home with flowers from another man. So that was my only way.
That's the ultimate finesse. You can't get mad at that one. That's a
good one.
one.
I love this. She had a pre-planned. She was like, yo, I already got the cover story. Mom, these are for you.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Exactly.
Hey, $6.99 well spent. You already know where that went.
Exactly, yes.
So,
Go on, guys. I'm going to take my background off. I'm sorry. It's doing too much. Hold on.
It's all good. No worries. So, Stephanie, and then Ro, what's your anti-Valentine's Day story?
So nice in regular.
So the last Valentine I had was probably, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. Actually, the memory just popped up on my Snapchat. Yeah, my Snapchat yesterday.
Yeah, story.
To just kind of really allow me to have this in my fucking memory and just realize that PSA to everybody, February 13th is the side chick day. Okay. And just in case you're unsure, guys will do the fucking most.
Yo, pause that one again and repeat it again so they know what International Side Chick Day is. Please give it to them again.
Run that back one more time. February 13th is the side chick motherfucking day. And you know what? I'm a motherfucking victim of that. And that's why fuck Valentine's Day and it's canceled for life. Okay. So 4 or 5 years ago, whatever the case may be, I was dating this dude and he was married is what I knew at the time was they were separated. Okay. Now, this is the lengths guys will go through to really like try to prove to you they're not. But this man came into my house, got the key from my best friend, okay, to decorate my whole house with roses, flowers, chocolate, everything. Like I walked into my house after work being like, what the fuck? To find out, mans was married. That's why he did it the day before. Okay. So just remember that men ain't shit and they'll go through great lengths to put on this whole fucking theatrics for you for literally nothing. Valentine's Day is just a fucking day. Okay. Like don't get caught up in it.
Yep. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Cheers to the part where you said men ain't shit.
Right? That was the last Valentine's Day I celebrated. The rest of the time, like I have my own tradition for Valentine's Day. We'll revisit that, but I'm gonna throw it over to Rohan because I'm curious as to what his worst Valentine's Day was.
I mean, most of them are good because I know what I'm
Jeez.
doing. So,
Because what?
You know, I know what I'm doing.
Sugar daddy talk.
Man said most of them are good.
It's an assault on niggas. That's all I'm saying.
So,
No, on who?
oh,
Not on dudes. On females, you better.
just all the men who are on the struggle bus today. That's it. You know, those last minute Avengers and be like, oh shit, Valentine's Day, like you forgot. So, okay. Anyways,
Well, bye.
right? So, and we have all the people we need anyways. I'm on a live feed with a bunch of beautiful ladies, so I'm good.
Right. Shit.
So, if we must, there has been some challenging times, just, you know, scheduling stuff and not being on time. But the worst one I can go is when I was back in university, it was just scheduling. I had an assignment that was done, like 30% of my mark. I'm like, babe, I need the time to get it done. Like, setting up Valentine's Day and going out for dinner is not going to work out. So, you know, it was a trap because she's all like, yeah, that's fine. You know, we can celebrate after. It's just a day. And then, you know, Valentine's Day runs up on me. I get my assignment done. I remember at like 10:30 at night, Valentine's Day, I just get oh, I'm upset with you because we didn't do anything for Valentine's. I'm just like, babe, like, I showed you the syllabus. Like, this thing was due on a day. I wasn't fudging.
This man said the syllabus, the itinerary as to which I need to follow on a day-to-day basis. You didn't fit into it.
Right.
Well, I was referring to the academic syllabus, but you know, the schedule thing speaks to it too. You know what? I'm talking to real women right now, so I don't need to ad lib. So yeah, it was
okay, Rohan.
Saying I'm what? I'm sorry. Saying I'm who?
Yeah, real women. You're real.
Hey,
Not
Steph.
not some fantasy clickbait OnlyFans bullshit. These are real women.
Oh, but you was trying to get Stephanie to open up her OnlyFans,
Right?
Okay.
The
only link in my bio, actually that's about it. The link tree in there, but the link in my bio brings you to my barber page now. So book an appointment, baby. Yeah, that's the only form of payment we're accepting these days.
Exactly. The only time Stephanie's getting close to your bush is when she's shaving your head off.
Oh,
woo! Pause. Getting close to the who? Getting the what?
Bushy hair.
Bruh.
Oh my god. Well,
if you got a bush, you better.
Hey girl, I'll come to you. Don't worry.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, money has to go somewhere. I might as well put it in the family, right? Anyway, right? Everyone's enjoying this. Yo, this is fire. Anyway, so yeah, man, it's just one of those like, oh, we didn't do anything. You couldn't do this. We couldn't go out. And I'm like, yo, I'm about it, but I like, it's university. I pay to go there. So what would you like me to do? Tell a teacher, oh, sorry, I can't hand in my assignment because I have to go out for dinner?
Well, that's how you know some bitches ain't shit either. Because how you gonna have somebody that's trying to make better of their life so that they can probably give you a better life. And then now you're just like, I want you for Valentine's Day.
Facts.
Right.
No, but straight up, actually, I want your guys' point of view on this as well. I don't like going out for dinner on Valentine's Day. I'm not with the whole like book me a reservation, take me out for dinner, because 9 times out of 10, it's a prefix menu. So it's like now you gotta select off what, like, bitch, I can't even get what I want. Like, are you kidding me? Like, then you're in this packed ass restaurant with all these other fucking assholes, like, and you're looking like y'all faking it. Like, you just met, like, you can tell this is the first date. Like, this is whack. Like, so I would honestly take it way like more appreciative if the guy that like put some thought into it, or like did even something at home or something like that, you know, like take me out for dinner meal. Like yeah, make me food or something. I don't know, like, you know, dead ass, I've been cooking for you since probably we met. So
look
like,
at Rohan, relax and take notes.
Matt, I know, right? He's like, let me just
oh my god. Well, we can't ask Andrew on his experience, so we're just gonna have to skip him because I don't know.
Yo, man, time that perfectly. He's like, I'm gonna head out because
right. And his girl's watching too, so he's just like, hey,
he's like, I am getting
this
caught
is
up
all
in this.
imagination. I'm an actor.
Huh? He's literally gonna be like, who's that bitch that you were talking?
You know, Andrew's always talking about suck the dick in the balls too. I remember this girl that she sucked the dick in the balls, and she's like, who? What?
Oh, okay.
But okay, so let me just say this. For everyone, I think we decided to have an anti-Valentine's Day, mostly for the people who are single, who, you know, have breakups, had whatever, because it's not fair that, I mean, every podcast is doing something for love, and oh my god, it's Valentine's Day, shout out to my babe.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah.
No. It's not even like I'm totally against it. For those that are celebrating it, like, kudos to you. I'm just hoping that it's authentic. I'm just hoping that they actually put the effort in, that it's not just like, yo, here's whatever. Like, you know, like, I just hope, like, I know that a lot of people look at this holiday as a Hallmark holiday, and that's how I feel too. So it's like the only reason that I'll actually be like, oh, that was sweet, is if it was like original, like, you know, like it came from the heart type of shit. But other than that, all that commercial played out, whatever, flowers and chocolate, like, anyone that knows me, like, I'm not really a big flower person. So like, for somebody to just try and be like, here's a bouquet of flowers, I'd be like, and what else? Like, I'm just, that's just, I feel like it's a cop out of just like, here's something comforting for you, some flowers that you're gonna watch wilt, and some chocolates that you're gonna fucking binge eat later. So like,
well, it's a game, right? Like, everyone's going out trying to stun on each other. Like, what do you get from today other than any other day, right? Like, if you're in a relationship, you should be taking care of your relationship 365. Like, running up on a day doesn't make any sense, right? Like Christmas makes sense, right? Because you're culminating to interact with other people. New Year's, same thing. It's a group thing, but we ain't doing no group Valentine's thing. Unless,
we are.
Unless you Taz's Angels.
Or, hey man, I know there's some freaks in the chat. We're probably gonna be like, yeah, I was on my orgy today. Like,
right? Like,
so,
but in all honesty, like you said, like, if you're in a relationship for that long, like, what, you're anticipating this one day of the year that the person that you're with is going to show you that they love you, like, you better reevaluate your relationship if that's the case.
Yo, and the day's stressful still. Like, there's stats on the amount of people who like break up prior and post Valentine's Day because of the social and the economical pressures of this day. Like, bro, like I was hearing on the news feed that this weekend, all of them, like Match, because they own Tinder and fucking Plenty of Fish and Match.com, they were saying that they saw almost a 400% increase of subscriptions Friday, because people are like, yo, I'm single. I can't believe I'm single for Valentine's Day. And plus with the pandemic, they're all like, oh, I've been alone, stuck in my house. Do people still love me? So it's like, that speaks to the unhealthy nature of this holiday.
I don't get why people would want to seek somebody just for the one day. Like, honestly, so like, I'm going to be honest. I kind of started something up recently. And in my mind, I mean, as a female, in my mind, I was like, I'm not hanging out with this guy on Valentine's Day. Like, it's way too fucking new. Like, like there's not a chance. Like, so I don't understand why somebody would willingly go out and seek just somebody just for that day. Like, it's a day about like whatever, expressing your love for somebody. Like, there is not a chance that I would just be like, hey, I barely know you, but you want my Valentine? Like, what? No, I don't. Waste another day of my life.
I felt her come to say something. I was like, what are you gonna say?
No, I definitely agree. Like, I feel like for one day, that's kind of ridiculous. However, I do like the idea of like celebrating love. Like, yeah, you love like throughout the year regardless, but like that one day to just like celebrate it, like, but I do feel like, however, there is more pressure on like the men, and I feel like that's a little bit unfair, because I feel like women should definitely step their game up on this day too, or whenever, like throughout the year too. But I feel like it should be like kind of like both kind of showing love for each other, not just like the men, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure on men, and even throughout high school and middle school, it's like the guy has to get you the teddy bear and all that, all that bullshit. But like, I feel like, what do you think about it, Rohan? Because you feel like there's more pressure on the men, right? For sure.
Well, yeah, because men's needs are simple, right? Like, if you guys
just a little blowjob,
right? That's why it became so normalized for girls just to give pussy for Valentine's Day, because like men are like,
they just want the whipped cream on it, and
winner.
That's it. Like,
you mean what?
Yeah, okay, but we're gonna be looking for that all the time, right? Like, that's a consistent, right? Like, next weekend I'm gonna want it. Like, my birthday, I'm gonna want it. Christmas, I'm gonna want it. New Year's, I'm gonna want it. So what's the difference?
Yeah, it sounds like a cheap fucking year to me.
Yo, anyways, but I hear you, Sammy. You're saying that, yeah, there are pressures, and it's all because of the fact that at the end of the day, like, we're designed to pursue you guys as women. We're courting you. We're validating you, right? So this is just another component in that. But again, everyone complains that it's a commercial holiday because that's what it is. What are we getting out of it? Right?
No, and that's what I don't understand. I don't understand why guys need to like bow down to women on Valentine's Day and like provide this whole scenario and whatever, and girls just come through like, you think I got you something? Like, is this not about love? Like,
better, yo, she's been through some shit. Stephanie's been through some shit.
No, I don't. Girl. But in all honesty, like, I don't understand. Like, when I was in relationships, I took Valentine's Day as seriously as like I hope like the other dude would take it. Like, I would get him gifts and stuff like that too. Like, I was super hyped. Like, so like these girls that are like, I'm not getting my dude nothing for Valentine's Day. Like, he's got me. I'd be like, imagine dude showed up and said the same thing though. Like,
see, that's what I mean. I feel like that's unfair. Like, that's unfair as fuck. Yeah.
Like, I give you my body every day, but today is special, and that's your gift.
I shaved today.
What? Doesn't make sense to me.
I said I shaved today. That's the special.
Oh,
you shaved today. So
no, I mean the lady. I mean the lady.
Oh.
You said you give up your body.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. Because sometimes I just get lazy and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know what it is.
So, like I said,
go
ahead.
And especially like long-term relationships, we forget to do certain things, and sometimes we just don't feel like it. And the Valentine's Day present, you know what would be great? Do the fucking dishes. Take out the fucking garbage for once. Do something. All right.
I'm talking to the men.
Yeah.
So since we're on the topic though, like, what is your love language? Is it active service? Is it like, what is your love language type of thing? Mine is active service. I have a hard time expressing my emotions, but if I'm doing the most for you, I already assume that you know what it is.
Yeah, vacuuming is an act of service. Like, It's literally an act of service. Like, okay, like seriously, yeah.
Oh man,
But
the chats.
I'm definitely more what's the like spending time. Like if you
Mm,
give me your time, like that is enough for
Mhm.
me.
for real.
And what's the other one? I forget the 5 love languages. What are they? Does anyone remember?
Communication.
I don't know. There's like active.
I know
active
one's
service,
touch.
gift giving.
Yeah, one's
there's
touch,
gift
one's
giving.
communication. Oh, gift
Yeah.
giving. Okay, she's like,
Yeah, that was one of them. That was one of them. I swear, one of them was like through gifts or something like that. Something like that. Yeah, no, but definitely the time one. I feel like if you give me your time, like
yeah,
that hits the sweet spot for me.
yeah, that's a big thing.
Because I'm clingy.
You're like, I want all of it,
Oh,
all of
shit.
your
I'm
time.
clingy.
Quit your job.
Yes.
So,
What about
yeah.
you?
My love language. Y'all are really advancing this shit, cause
Well, I can help
She's
you out
like,
here if you
what?
want.
Love what?
what you want? How you gonna help me out, Rohan?
So the 5 languages are act of
Mhm.
service, quality time, receiving gifts.
Yeah,
So
see?
Valentine's Day. Physical touch, which I know you like, except when you're in a mood, and words of affirmation.
Okay, so the last 2 for sure. I'm the type of person that I think that as I got older, the gift giving thing is my thing. I would love to give gifts just because I want to give you gifts. I don't expect your gifts. I mean, it would be nice, but I don't expect it. Touch, yes. Okay.
That's your shit.
She's
Yeah.
like all day,
That's
every
my
day.
shit. Okay. I don't mean
That
like
chick is her
all that.
Yo, hard pause. The amount of love that your square is getting on the feed, like people are going wild.
What do you mean? What love? How's this going? We don't even know.
I'm seeing the real-time chats.
Oh, I want to see the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, there's people commenting?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
She there shaking up titties and shit. What?
So
But-
yeah, celebrations galore. They just
What?
got your titties. They just
Oh
got
my
your
How
God.
is it like
Yeah.
that?
Yo,
They like
listen,
that.
these are Simon's titties. She will tell anybody, yo, these titties are mine. So it's like, there she goes.
So yeah, so definitely we're getting some good things.
We're getting
Everyone's
some
loving.
I'm sorry. Did that
What?
text message just said I have to pay $135 to receive my package? You're fucking crazy. Take that shit back.
Duty, go fuck yourself. And
I hate that
Real
shit.
shit.
So all
But
all our
it's
fans.
definitely touch for me because guys think that they can touch you in a certain way that it's like, oh, I get turned off so easily, but I get turned on so easily. So if you're gonna do the right touches, and I'm good with that. You do the right touches. You want dinner? What did you say? You want what? Okay, if you're doing bad, you know what you're getting? Chicken back. That's what you're getting. Chicken back. Pure
Wow.
bone and rice. That's what you're getting. Maybe some pancakes. Y'all, guess what? Hold on. I'm gonna make Simon hold it down for a minute because the 1800
Yes.
got me going to the bathroom. You already know what's up?
I was just about to try and go on a bathroom break.
We need to know what Rohan's love language is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Fill it.
I mean, it falls under all of them, and I'm not trying to sound bougie, right?
You're so neutral.
Well,
Okay, wait. I'm running to the washroom too. I'm sorry. BRB.
we're sorry, people. We're dropping like flies, but I guess it's
It's
our
the
destiny,
Sam and
huh?
Rohan show now.
Yeah, man, taking over. We need that. So for all those that are still with us right now in the chat, and obviously everyone will come back. Yes, I fall over each one of them. Words of affirmation and acts of service are usually my leads because it's how you move and what you say, right? Like the interaction is there, but like if you see that my neck's hurting and you come massage my neck or whatever, that kind of stuff, like I'm good for all extra stuff. But like, aside from playful flirtation and whatnot, I'm good in my own zone, right?
Yeah. So
And
you feel like okay, so you're saying words of affirmation is your thing? Like, is that what
yeah,
you're saying?
yeah.
But like, do you feel like, but I feel like at the end of the day, like actions speak louder than words. So like, would you prefer the action or would you prefer the words?
Action is at the top.
Pardon?
If I have to decide, action is at the top.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But you're saying but you like both.
Like, if I had to pick one to make things easy, actions is always there.
Action. That's what I'm saying. Like actions over words of affirmation any day.
Right. Because, you can say stuff like, I cringe sometimes when people are arbitrarily be like, I love you, right? Because it's, do you feel it, or are you using it as a mechanic to reinforce your position?
Yeah. Like I get what you're saying. Like people shouldn't be using like I love you so like nonchalantly, but also when you drink, it's kind of just like it happens sometimes,
Wait, hold on. Wait,
People
let's
get
talk
love
about...
and infatuation completely confused though. Like I think
Yeah,
some people are just like so infatuated with somebody and they're like, oh my God, like I love the vibe, like, like that kind of stuff. And then they're just instantly like, oh my God, I love you.
Exactly.
And you're like,
that's the lust. That's the lust.
Yeah.
yeah,
Lust,
like
for sure. And yeah.
No, go ahead.
And one thing I don't get is if somebody comes or says I love you, like I just need to understand the stigma of like why it's so offensive if you don't say it back right away. Because like you may feel that you love me, but maybe I'm not there yet. So it's like it doesn't mean I'm not gonna get there.
That's a
but
good
it
one.
Means as of right now, I understand your emotions, but
That's a good one.
It's good and it's fucking awkward.
Yeah. Like, has anyone ever been in that position where somebody says I love you first and you're sitting there? I've actually said I love you back because it's kind of like awkward.
Yeah.
If you don't say it back,
I don't want to make you feel bad. So like, love you too.
Like I've definitely felt like that guilt to say it back, or else it's just awkward.
Can we normalize it being okay that if one person falls in love first, that like it doesn't mean that they don't love you at all. It just means that they're not entirely there and or comfortable with expressing it yet,
And it doesn't immediately state that if you don't respond that the love isn't there. Like the love might be directly associated to an act or a situation that you're appreciating more than the other person, right?
Yeah.
So, if there is a scenario where you're constantly saying, or like that person's constantly saying, I love you to you, and you're not able to reciprocate, then that should trigger a mature conversation and be like, hey, I'm feeling a type of way because I don't feel the same love that you keep claiming, right? But I also feel that we have situations where people are just saying it randomly. Like,
absolutely.
I love you so they can get it back. But it goes to everything else, right? We're in an instant gratification society. People post shit to get responses, right? Like, my cat died. Okay, cool. Right? Yes, if you're sad about it.
What?
Right, but if you're sad about it, you can be genuinely sad, but there's still people out there who be like, I'm taking these situations in order to get a response and facilitate some kind of feeling from other people. And it's amalgamating to day-to-day communications and impacting relationships. Like there's a lot of relationships that are built off of that instability. And then when a person comes back and be like, Stephanie, I hear that you say you love me a lot, but I really want to have a conversation about that. And be like, you don't love me, man. Like,
it's just like the escalation. I don't get it. Like one of my exes, actually we were in an argument and we could not come to an agreement at that time. And this man ended up being like, like, I love you and all that. And it was the first time I heard him say, I love you. And I think it was literally to de-escalate the argument that we were in. And I'm like, this kind of tainted the whole thing for me because like, now you're basically trying to tell me that you love me, but now it's in the midst of an argument. And it's the first time I'm hearing that from you. And I'm like, I feel like this is fake. Like I didn't say it back. And it took me a while to respond back because I was in such shock seeing that in that message. And to the point where he was like, oh, too soon. I'm like, no, you know exactly what you're doing. Like you're using guilt. Like you're trying to be like, oh, I love you to like make me feel bad. So I'd be like, oh my God, I love you too. Like, No, I'm smarter than
How
that.
about we
Like,
not? How about we not? The
right?
thing,
Like,
yo, like
focus on the task at hand. Don't try to fucking throw all this other shit into it. Like, no.
Yeah, but I mean, and then we have to really talk about ourselves as females. I mean, some of us haven't done it, but some of us have, where we, you know, get really into sex. And
Yeah.
that shit
The
comes
moment
out.
takes
And if
you.
it doesn't, yeah, if it doesn't come out and they're just like, you love me, and it's like, you love me, and they're just like, yeah.
Yo, one of my least favorite dirty talk phrases in the world is, whose pussy is this?
Oh.
I'm
Simon, did you hear that?
Wait,
I'm sorry.
What was it?
One of my least favorite like sexual phrases being used is like, whose pussy is this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, is this a
So
fucking
whose pussy
interview
is
right
this?
now? Why are you asking me questions? Like, what?
Yeah, it is annoying.
If I can respond
I
to your
think
question right now, you're not doing your job.
for real.
So what about daddy? Do guys like it when girls say daddy?
I think some guys do and some guys don't.
Rohan, run
Especially
that
the guys that
question.
have daughters.
Ooh, the guys who have daughters don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What,
Is that
Rohan,
Andrew
are
making
you?
a bunch of noise?
Oh, Andrew's back.
Lord,
Welcome
have
back.
mercy.
Sorry about that little family emergency.
Everything okay?
Yeah, no,
So-
everything was fine.
Yeah.
It's just something stupid. I
Okay,
had to
fine.
deal with it at the moment. I couldn't wait.
But ask him. Gentlemen, Simon has a question for you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so we were just talking about something and we're like, how do guys feel about being called daddy in bed?
Andrew
Like-
don't have a daughter, so
Yeah,
he's
we're like
just
the ones who have daughters.
I was gonna
don't
say
like it,
Andrew's is
but-
a real father, so
yeah, but he
That's
don't
what
got
I'm
a
saying.
daughter.
Yeah,
no,
so
let's
he's
talk.
not
Okay,
done.
so let's elaborate then. Pre-parenthood and post-parenthood, how do you feel about
Okay.
the daddy?
That's the better question. All right. Pre-parenthood, I mean, it ain't a question. I mean, on pre-parenthood, here, all right, the phenomenon all started the first time somebody called me daddy. I was like, for real? Like,
Bitch, you good or what?
yeah, like it was a little get used to. Like I thought the chick had some parent issues. Like I didn't know.
Some daddy issues.
I didn't know. I didn't know if I was getting into adoption or a sponsorship fund. I didn't know what
Oh
exactly
my
was going
God.
on.
What am I signing up for?
Exactly. But you know, it was a medium. It was like a medium style relationship. I was in that one for about a year, so I got used to the thought, or the, you know, I got used to my preconceptions of it. It's like
You got
early.
used to the thought. Just say it.
Right?
You got used to the thought.
The thought is
The thought.
The thought of it.
Yeah. Hey, hallelujah. Then fast forward now that I'm a father. On one side of the coin, I mean, I am a motherfucker now, so I can't say nothing.
Oh my God, you're so sick. I guess.
You said he's a motherfucker. Hey, hell, okay.
Right.
I'm just saying, I can't say
Shout out to
nothing.
Steffi.
Yeah, I mean, if she does call me daddy, I am not gonna, what am I gonna say, no?
But that's the point. Do you like that? How are you gonna say I'm not gonna say no? Do you like it or not?
Bro, at this point in time, it's extra juice.
Yeah, it's gonna fuck up
You're
his
going
whole
around
day
the
when
damn
like she's
question.
talking to her son one day and be like, go ask daddy, and all of a sudden he's gonna be like, what? You're gonna fuck
I
up your
thought he
whole
was your
scenario.
daddy.
You can't focus all of a sudden.
Now the thing is, if I had a daughter, that scenario would be a little bit different, because
That's what we were asking.
that's where I'm going to say this. I've had my other friends who have daughters say to me that they don't like that whole entire thing. Like I've even had some of my male friends say that once they had daughters, they couldn't watch porn anymore, just due to the fact that the whole, no, I'm being dead ass serious. Because the idea that they're over 35 to 36. Most of the girls in these films are usually their daughter's age. So they can't watch that shit now without correlating the two in their head. So a lot of them.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, they just completely stop with the entire thing. Either that or they start watching some old shit, or you know what I mean? They never really had that deep in the conversation. But I'm just saying that has come up before where I have one male side of the perspective. I guess it just falls where you're on. Like if you have daughters, I can see why you wouldn't. If you got a son, well, guess what? Somebody's been calling you daddy half your life anyway.
No, but see, okay, so I'm a little bit biased to this because not once in my entire life, like I was mostly raised by my father. Not once in my entire life have I ever called my father daddy. Ever.
But that's a standard, I think, that was set by him.
No.
What? No.
It was just dad. That was dad.
No.
That
What
was
I mean,
daddy. That was dad or father.
No. What I mean is, in our culture, daddy is exactly what you call that's what you call your, like in the Jamaican household, you don't hear father, or you don't hear, all you hear is pops, papa, daddy.
Yeah,
like,
I call my dad pops. I call him Papa Ron, you know, like I've never.
It depends on where you're from. That's why I think
I've called my mom mommy. I've called my mom mommy. Like,
yeah, but I don't think there's many variants. I don't think that's much variance. Like, I don't think niggas been hitting it from the back and saying, "Come here, mommy." Like, the only time they use the word
what are you talking about? Yes, they do.
What do you mean?
Yes,
you ain't never met a Spanish dude in your life?
Yeah, that's
Well, I ain't saying it. I told you it ain't from my end of the world.
Okay, but all I'm saying is hopefully, I mean, maybe I didn't even ruin that for my dad either. You know what I mean? Maybe the fact that he's like, my own daughter ain't never called me daddy, so go on, you know, like maybe I didn't ruin that for him, you know, is all I'm saying. Is I have never personally called my father, my dad, whatever, Papa Ron, I never called him daddy in my entire fucking life. So
yeah, but that just goes to the fact that you got mad hood tendencies from young anyway, because you've just been calling your pops. Like, you've been calling them the same shit. You've been calling your father the same thing the niggas on the block call they fathers.
All my friends call him Papa Ron. Like, that's all they know is Papa Ron.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
so Stephanie, I have a
all
question for you. So like you don't call your own dad daddy, but like do you call like guys that you talk to daddy? Like, let's say your ex, like if he wanted you to call him daddy, would you do that?
In a certain type of
settings.
State,
yeah, in the right moment, like you would do it.
In
right?
a certain state, I will get to that point. But I can't say that like it would just be something I'd be sitting with and be like, "Hey, daddy," like no, like you would. Okay.
Like
not like be in the
not
right,
like, "Hey, daddy,"
like you said, the right setting.
Daddy, like what if he's like older and you're into him and he's taking care of you? Like, what if he is a daddy? Like, what if he's a daddy? You know, like
but that's a different type of
Yo,
sugar daddy.
Okay, so my running joke on this podcast.
Can I get a bag?
My running joke on this podcast is apparently about getting a sugar daddy, but I have never once had or really like actively sought out a sugar daddy. So I can't honestly answer that because I've never been in a position where I would ever do that. Plus, I mean, I don't have daddy issues. I got a pretty strong like father figure in my life. So I don't feel like I would ever seek validation from being like, oh my God, daddy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll only ever really cater to that if it's something that you're into in a sense, I guess. Yeah. And like I said, it's got to be in that moment, in that state. Like, it's got to.
For sure.
I guess before we pass it to Rohan, I'm going to only say one more thing. The only reason why a nigga deserves, or any male deserves the word daddy anyway, is if his stroke game is right. Like, if his stroke game is crap, he's never going to be called daddy anyway. So,
that like, right there.
This is one of them things you got to earn daddy status anyway. Like, you got to be beating up the box with the up, down, left, left, right combo before daddy is even a problem.
The cheat code. You got to get a cheat code.
Yeah.
Street Fighter.
You know what I mean? That's like using the Street Fighter upper combination. You ain't gonna hit the daddy button until you get the combo.
Hold on. Rohan, I want you to talk before I tell this story real quick. Boy, it was vibrating in my bra. What the hell was that?
Hey.
Oh, it's a wire. It's a wire. It's a wire. Okay.
She's tuning in on
You're wired up. Hold on, pause. We might have to
Alexa.
Oh, girl, stop.
So
this bitch. No wonder why you took so long.
Hey.
Hey, man. need that extra support, I guess. So, Tia, your expressions kill me.
What?
No, your expressions
Girl's
kill
lit.
me. Yeah, she is. She's out of space.
Bruh, Simon's breaking out the fucking expensive liquor. I'm gonna take advantage of
Jeez,
this shit.
what the fuck? Send the address. Anyway, sorry. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. Social distancing.
Let
No.
the man get to his story.
What'd you say, Ryan? Thank you.
I mean, I've been trying to say, but yeah, no, I've never really jumped on board with the whole daddy mommy type thing, right? Like, there's a plethora of other pet names for most girls, and it's just one of those things where it's just like, you know, if you have daddy issues, that's a different conversation. You know, I'm not going to sit here and jump on that, but yeah, I don't know. It's just never clicked on being like, yeah, call me daddy, call me mommy. It's just like, no.
Okay, but even though you didn't ask, did anybody ever throw it in there just as a, and you were kind of like, that's not my thing?
I feel that most of the time when I find something I don't like, I'm able to say something. Like with the relationships that I've been through, I'm using this term generally. I've commanded a lot of things when it comes to how we speak, because if we can't have that communication, I don't want to bother, because I've gone through relationships where it's just like bickering, yelling, misunderstandings, misinterpretations, and it's just a waste of time, right? Like if you can't trust a person enough to have that conversation, like you're gonna fight. I'm not going to say you're not supposed to have a difference of opinion, but if you can't be able to communicate, there's no point. Like, bruh, like, you know, if you don't like the way they do, like they perform in the bedroom or something like that, if you have good communication, you can be like, babe, I like this, or you want this. But if you don't have that, then it's irrelevant, right? So yes, I don't know. It makes me sound different. That's probably the reason why some people
No.
struggle to, you know, have good relationships with me in that capacity. But yeah, that's what I'm going for.
No, but I feel like the stigma is there that like a lot of women believe that guys want that to be said or addressed at some point, you know, like, oh my God, daddy, like it's like, almost like it's like a validation for them. So like it's cool to hear from like a different perspective that you're not into it, you know, like it's not your thing. Like
I think it goes to standards. Like I'm not gonna outs. There's a lot of like hood boogers out there, bitches who are like, yo, yeah, I'm not gonna sit there. Yeah,
do you say
yeah,
hood
man.
boogers?
Yeah,
Mhm.
man. Like
Yes,
you know,
man.
yeah.
I've never
Yeah,
heard
man.
this term in my life.
Okay.
Well,
It's
it's what you hear most of the time on YouTube, so you don't get demonetized, right? But like at the end of the day, if your standards are here and you feel that I have to call them a certain name, I have to put out, this is what I'm bringing to the table as a woman, then you're perpetuating a certain thing, right? Like guys are only going to respond to certain things. And at the end of the day, and Andrew, you can chime in as well.
Mhm.
There's only a handful of things that guys will shoo away when it comes to a relationship, right? Like
Yeah.
we'll entertain most girls of most body shapes unless we have a type, right?
Yeah.
We'll, you know, if you can't cook, we'll adapt. Especially in this stage where it's just like Uber Eats or whatever.
only
Either
for
we'll
so
both,
long.
If your
Oh
mama's
yeah,
around,
only for so long. Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
well, hold on, to a certain extent. Like there's certain things that even if you don't have, will give you a chance before it becomes
well,
problematic,
augment the skill set. I mess with you.
right? Like,
So you're really
well,
saying that dudes really settle on all levels
no,
until they
I'm
get
not
tired
saying,
of it,
I'm not
You
saying
guys are that
settle.
easy?
I was
right?
No,
I'm
hold
saying
on.
settle.
Well,
Let him
Okay,
fuck,
finish.
I'm gonna start cooking today. Let me tell
Let
you.
him finish. Let him finish.
Stephanie, Tia, Sam. All right. If you guys went down the street and said, I want to fuck right now, how many
I
guys are
want
going to say
to
no to that?
How many guys are gonna say no?
How many what?
Right. How many guys are going to say no?
I'm sorry, I don't have that word in my vocabulary. What does that mean? No.
For real.
But
I
think
mean, like,
Rohan
if
is
it was
talking-
like,
I ain't never heard that word.
you see, Rohan is talking about
Facts.
something phenomenon that I've brought up in the show earlier. That most guys throughout the history of time have never had what women have had, which is the ability to say no. One of the greatest reasons why men go to the strip club, I'm going to give you a piece of information on why guys go to the strip club. You want to know why?
We know. We ain't that
Because
stupid.
a lot of women
viewers.
have this fantasy that they think that men go into the strip club for the illusion of having sex or having this inclusion of a fantasy of a woman that they can't have. It's actually the opposite of that. The reason why or at least my experience, the reason why men go to the strip club, it's more of a deep-seated reasoning. It's actually because they actually have the ability to say no to all of those women coming up to them, hitting on them randomly at all times.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree.
Hold
I
on.
disagree.
Hold on.
I want
really
Rohan to finish
disagree.
his part. I want Rohan to finish his part, and
Okay, so before we get buried with that, so I'm going to take a snippet of what Andrew said, right? Yeah. But it's not necessarily to say no. It's just we get an opportunity to present our desires without jumping through hurdles.
Facts. That's
so
one of them.
We can go. So we
you
see
just
an
throw
attractive...
money at her and she can't say no. It's her
Hold on
job.
a second. Yeah, it's her job, but it's an environment where we're all equal.
The control
is go in a strip club, right? And the only thing that is an enabler is how much money you're willing to spend.
Facts.
Right? You're not put in a situation where it's just like, oh, I want a guy that looks this. Remember, girls have the, if he's not 6 foot, if he's not D'd, if he's not tattooed, if he's not that, if he's not driving a car. You guys have a checklist before the conversation begins.
Before the
guy don't have a checklist.
Hold on.
I have a fucking checklist. I do.
No. It's a different state of what we're trying to say to you guys. It's not a competition of what states of checklist and yada yada yada. What we're trying to show you is that as a man, or especially as a man like us, certain degrees of women have, to some degree, have either measured up or they don't measure up. But here's the thing: as a man, we don't have that many choices to go after the ones that measure up, due to the fact that, guess what? Some of us don't even fit that type of description of whatever she has in her little box. I understand what Ro is trying to say to some degree, where he's trying to say that girls have always had the ability to say yes and no to the people they choose. Men have had to choose and say yes and no to the women that like them. It's a completely different dynamic.
Look, have you seen the behavior in men these days? They don't choose nothing. They take everything.
Yeah, that's also inclusive too, because
I know is I have been cheated on. I have been cheated on
we all have.
by men with some bucket ass looking women. So don't tell me that y'all don't have some fucking choices. Okay, you guys have some choices, but you choose poorly. Is what I'm saying.
Hold on.
Everybody does.
So let's clean this up. let's clean this up. Because of the fact that the choices in some cases are limited, right? There's those guys who get overwhelmed with options, so they can't make an appropriate decision, right? Because I'm not saying it's right, but if you know that, hey, if I work on this relationship and it doesn't work out, I can move on successfully, then you'd probably give it a chance. But if you're in a situation where it's just like, hey, another opportunity presents itself, you're in that instant being like, yo, so I'm looking at this girl and I have this girl, but I don't have to do the courtship.
I'm sorry, but if the Michelin man was knocking at my fucking door, okay, I wouldn't answer it. So I don't get why y'all open the fucking door.
No, but
not only that, you invite the motherfucker in.
Steph, what I'm trying to say to you, what I'm trying to show you is that's my point that goes to the beginning.
I like Rohan was trying to show.
I know that.
I was gonna add to his point. What Rohan was trying to say to you is that men have had less options, and because they have less options, their confidence, their overall approach to a situation is different. Their dynamic and how they approach the situation is different. So you having the ability to see yes and no and take what you want for your entire life presents a dynamic that once you fall for somebody, you don't want anybody else.
You're telling me that if you're sitting there eating with a motherfucking silver spoon and somebody offers you a plastic one, you're going to say, absolutely, thank you. I'm so happy for you helping me right now. Like, bitch, you already were set up.
Yeah,
no,
but
that's not what I'm trying to say. And I don't appreciate words being put in my mouth.
Jeez.
That's one of the things I'm really pissed off about.
Talk your shit,
Like,
Rohan.
if I'm having a
Go ahead.
conversation, I can allow it. So I hear what you're saying, Stephanie, and it's not automatically saying that choice is there, because a man can be in a relationship and another girl can come and say, yo, I want you. A man can say no, right? But the conversation I'm having right now is those guys who cheat, sorry for your situation, it's because they struggle with that social dynamic. When guys sit around, we're not sitting there comparing lists, right? We might share stories on being like, yo, the girl we banged on the weekend, or the nature of this event, or blah blah, but we're not taking lists. Like, our list isn't being like, yo, like, we could say we would like the girl to cook, right? But it's a variant. You guys are absolute. 6-figure, 6 foot, this, that. If you don't, it's no. Boy, bye. And it's how you guys deal with the situation.
No, I don't
Because-
agree.
I don't know. I'm pretty. I've
Rohan,
kind of
don't do
narrowed
that
down
face
my
with me.
type, so
Well,
I
hold
have a
on,
checklist.
Rohan.
You're talking
Rohan,
to two
don't do
men
that
here,
face.
and I don't know about from our experience.
Hold up real quick.
Like, present.
Rohan, don't do that face with me. He
No,
did
but
that.
I
You know
can
that
agree.
face. That face he does with Andrew. That, oh, you're talking too much. Don't do that face with me, because let me tell you something. There's bitches out there that will accept. There's bitches out there that will accept a 5 foot fucking 6 man with a fucking 6-inch dick and will still fuck that shit as long as they fucking love them. Yo, it's not every girl's gonna be like, yo, I want you to have a 9-inch dick with this fat and fucking do all this for me and da-da-da-da-da. Bruh, I won't accept a fucking 6-inch dick, but there's bitches out there that will, because they fucking love dudes.
I'm that bitch.
I'm not saying, and I wasn't saying that you all have the same parameters, and I don't think he was saying that either. I
And
just
neither
said
does your
that-
dick.
But I'm just saying the people, to piggyback off what he's saying, is I don't think people's parameters are based off or finite. Like, it's not like every woman has a list that they all check. I think that
I do.
that woman's
I have a list that I fucking checked. I do.
no.
I'll admit
I'm
that.
saying no. What I'm saying is I think each woman's list is different, or each person's
Oh
list
yeah,
is different.
they're all different for sure.
Like me as a man, like to piggyback off what Ro is saying, the cooking, all of those things are not necessarily finite for me. I'm
Which
a good
is
cook.
madness, because honestly, women are programmed to believe that like men want. I mean, in my I guess let's go culture. In my culture, it is definitely a custom that we need to cook, we need to clean, we need to provide for our men, and that's like the standard that like the people that I assume that I'm gonna be with are expecting. So that's something I definitely bring to the table. So it's very interesting to hear that you guys will say that that is actually not a requirement for something.
No.
In all honesty, as a woman, I believe that was.
I don't think it's I'm not saying it's a requirement.
Oh wait,
I'm not saying I'm saying it actually aids. Whoa. I'm saying it aids to the situation. What I'm saying is, as a man, to me, if I'm in a relationship and my girl has a willingness to cook, that is a plus. But if she has no willingness to actually ever learn how to cook, that's a strike to me.
Oh,
You
well,
see-
hell yeah.
Now I'm not, it's not finite for me that she has to know and be a 5-star chef. It helps.
Yeah.
But
Don't get
at
me
the
wrong,
same-
like I'm no gourmet chef. Like I'm not gonna come up with some shit that you've never heard of ever before in my life. But like I will cook for you, like no doubt. Like that is and I go back to love language. You weren't here when we were talking about it. Is kind of what is your love language? My love language is active services. So if I do something for you, or if I'm going out of my way to be there for you and that kind of stuff, that is my way of showing you that I love you. And like, if I cook for you and that's the case, like, then I love you, right? Like, if I have never done that, I'm sorry for anybody watching here. If I've never done that for you, then maybe you might not be on that list, but that's my love language. I want to cook for you. I want to take care of you. I want to make sure that you're good. Like, that's my love language, right?
I think that's the law of reciprocation. You want to know that you've given somebody your all and then they give it back to you to some degree. And I
can take care of you. Like, that's what I can do. Like, I can provide for you in that sense. Like,
Hold on real quick. Rohan looks like he wants to explode with something. Like he's
No. I'm
You all right?
tentatively listening.
Okay. Oh my god, I can't remember what I want to talk about. So much things happened. Simon keeps wanting to go back to the strip club thing. This little girl, yo.
Okay, fair enough.
What do you, yo? Okay.
You didn't get a rebuttal.
Wait, what did you want to rebuttal?
Remember you had to say, "Oh, men go to the strip club because."
Oh yes.
That's like where they can say no there. I don't know.
No, okay, that's what Andrew said. They can go there, they can say no and whatever. Look, you know the rules of the strip club, right? You gotta go there. You have to buy a drink.
You're a dollar sign,
right?
Let them know they're dollars.
Right? And that's what Simon's saying now. You're fucking dollar signs at the end of the fucking day.
I'm running to the bathroom. I'll be back.
Go ahead, girl. So you cannot go to a strip club and be like, let me just look and see, you know what? I'm not feeling it, whatever. But those girls have to make money. And if they don't make money, that bar has to make money. And that's why you have to buy a drink when you go in there. So when you guys go into a strip club, I don't agree with, I know you wanted to bring it up, Simon, but I'm gonna put my tutus on there. So when you say that you guys go in there, you know, just to like, you guys go in there to have some drinks and, you know what I mean, look at girls and whatever. But yo, at the end of the day, you're giving yourself a little fantasy in your head, whether you know it or not. You know what I mean? There's a naked girl up there. She's dancing. She's doing all the types of shit and whatever. Even if you don't want to look, you're looking. You know what I mean? She's creating that fantasy on that pole. Am I not right?
Yeah. Nothing's wrong about your statement.
Right. I mean, it's not going to be wrong. It's my opinion, right? And everybody else has their opinion. But I mean, that's why dancers dance, is to create. They're doing it for the money, but they're creating that image for you. And that's why I told my little brother one time, and I said, yo, when females are strippers, they're creating that shit for you, right? They're creating that image. When they go home, they're a mother, they're a wife, maybe even like all types of other shit.
Your sister, your aunt, somebody. Yeah, I understand.
Right. So, you know, they create that illusion. But just like when it goes for when women are fully dressed or when they're half dressed, like when we see on Instagram, when we see them bitches that are just like half naked and whatever, they got their ass done, they got their, you know, everything done.
The Instagram model, as they say.
That doesn't leave anything for your imagination anymore. Does it not? Right?
No, to some, you're 100% right. Yeah.
If I were to get my body done, let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm wearing these types of shirts. I'll wear something tight, but I'm gonna wear everything covered up. Because you know why? Because you're still gonna have to imagine what I have to look like or what I look like. See what I'm saying? So it's like
the point that I was trying to make in regards to the strip club is that yes, you are correct. There's a fantasy that goes with it, but the point is that it's the rules are put out. You go to the strip club, like you said, you pay your money, you know what your obligations you're fulfilling as a patron.
Rohan, make sure to tell the viewers that this is a Canadian strip club we're talking about, because, you know, American strip clubs are probably different, or different countries are different. Go ahead, babe.
So, you know the rules of engagement. Obviously, you know you can't touch, right? So there's no issues of you exceeding your boundary, because obviously you'll get kicked out, banned, legal action, all that sort of stuff. But you can work at the level in which you're comfortable with. So if you go there and you're just going to view, you buy your 2 drinks, overpriced, whatever, you enjoy that fantasy, that disillusion, and then you go home, right? If you want to engage, you know what it is. So it's an equal playing field for both parties. Guys can go in there, and the only component that differentiates their success rate is the financial, how much you're willing to spend. And then for the ladies, it's on the situation where you guys still maintain a yes-no parameter, but at least there's a neutrality associated with it, right? There's not a question of wonder. It's like either she's not interested in you, or she's tired, or you're not paying enough, right?
Yeah.
So you can you can change your game accordingly. But I feel that when it comes to the real world, there's too many variables on the female side that are absolute, right? We were saying if a girl looks a certain way, most guys, there are some guys who are like, I need someone to be like 32, 28, 32, or whatever, right? Those are a rarity. But then those guys can also sit there and say, oh, well, I make a set amount of money, or I have that kind of control. I'm an alpha, so I can command that type of woman, right? But the average person, they're dealing with the situation of saying, if a girl comes to me, if you don't fit a certain look, right? Like you might be like, oh, I only date black women, or I only date white women. Okay, that's your preference, right? But there's a chance that someone else can come in and say, hey, I'm of interest. And then of course, if there's someone who deviates from a body type, you may still entertain that from a guy's perspective. That's why I said, if a woman goes out and says, I want peace tonight, there's a higher probability of your success than a man going out and saying, I want peace tonight. Unless it's already established, you can't go out and say, I'm going to get peace. Right?
All right, you right.
So it's just those devaluements. And then if you're talking about the OnlyFans and the strippers and all that stuff, it just perpetuates another criteria where, you know, men are investing in something else and they're not really pursuing real relationships. So we're not dealing with the issue of being able to say, hey, we're building good relationships based off the social interaction and the opportunities that it presents, right? There's a lot of girls on various ways. I can sit here and say, yo, I can get queens that look like you guys. And then be like, I'm going to go after these kind of women because I have good relationships with you, Stephanie. I have good relationships with you, Tia. I'm quite certain I'm going to have a good relationship with Sammy. And say, these are my benchmarks for the type of women that I can potentially go after. I start going after them, and it's just like, boy, bye. Why? Why am I being dismissed? We didn't even have an opportunity to put things on the table, and I'm already being dismissed. So you don't know what I got. So how does that even start?
I can also.
But if a girl comes to me and says, hey, I think you're cute, let's try things. Unless I'm married or in a relationship, I'll still entertain the concept. You still have an opportunity to either be a girlfriend, a friend, a fuck buddy. You have a chance. So you can go in without any precursors and saying, I'm going to be necessarily rejected, unless there's something absolute.
So for me, I feel like it's first impressions. Oh, wait, what are you doing?
Okay.
Okay. So why is it like, okay. So I feel like first impressions are very important. And I know like right off the bat, like it only takes me like 2 minutes to like kind of read someone, to be honest. Like, I feel like I can read how someone is in like just talking to them for literally 2 minutes. Like, you know, you kind of get that like right away. So I feel like I get what you're saying, but like, it's also like, just like, I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like in 2 minutes, it takes me, that's all I need to know is just talking to someone, not even looks. I swear, like not even looks, like personality kicks ass at the end of the day, like hard, like it kicks ass at the end of the day. And I feel like it's like, it takes literally 2 minutes. You have that conversation and you will know, like if you gotta go the other way or you'll stay, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's all it takes. It's not you, it's the person.
I'm like a yes and no on that, because so there's been times where like I'm a pretty authentic person. You kind of get what you get with me. Like I'm pretty open on the forefront, but at the same time, there's situations where like I get really nervous with meeting somebody new. I have a little bit of social anxiety, like that kind of stuff. And like for me, sometimes first impressions, I will give you the benefit of the doubt, whether like you might be nervous or there might be some underlying like anxiety to meeting somebody. So like, I'm finicky. Sometimes if I get a very bad vibe, yes, I'll go with that for sure. But if I'm unsure with somebody in the beginning of like when I meet them, like I'll almost give you like a second opportunity to see more of what you're about. You know what I mean? Because I'm kind of shit with first impressions, because some people might like look at me and be like, you're kind of rough, like, you know, and that's just how I am in the beginning.
I get that all the time too.
Yeah, but it's like when you kind of break down my barriers, like if you hit that point with me that like I respect you and I like you so much, like I will do anything for that person, whether you're my friend, my family, like anything like that. Like when you break that barrier through me, like I will literally, I'm the most like loyal person you'll ever meet in your entire life. But like in order for you to get to that stage with me, it takes a little bit. Like, so I'm weird with first impressions.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's not weird at all. But it's like, I feel like initially, like, I feel like you either bounce off of someone and you have good banter and you're going back and forth, or you just don't. And that's what makes the make or break decision, I feel like, at the first, like at the beginning.
Yeah.
I feel like for me personally, because he's asking why is it that like you can have that conversation, whatever, and then they just know right away. Because it's like you either bounce off of each other or you don't, right? So I feel like that's what kind of, obviously at the beginning you're not as, I can't even hear him. We can't hear you.
Hold on.
Because he's moving.
Yeah, I see his lips moving, but like I can't hear anything.
No, he's moving the phone, so it's canceling out his voice at the same time.
I haven't moved.
Now you're fine.
You look like you were walking.
Like I said, I haven't moved.
Okay.
Can my light just be normal? Watch.
Right.
Ooh, I know.
Can't you turn it down?
Hold on, it's gonna take a minute to.
Can you make it dimmer?
Yeah, it's gonna take a minute. Ooh. Lord, you know what? I'm not even take that chance.
Right. To answer this question, I think it comes down to situation and opportunity. And the reason why I say that from my personal experience. To answer the question from the beginning and basically correlate all of this together. All right, I'll use myself as an idea. At the beginning of when I first came to this country, I was halfly awkward. I didn't understand myself yet. Girls were an enigma to me. Even though I was raised by women, I totally didn't understand how to talk to you guys because the absence of speaking to you was awkward. It was a weird situation because 90% of the girls that I knew thought they were too cool for school. They were way richer than me and had way bigger and better opportunities to basically present themselves in front. Mark 2, confidence. How I found confidence in myself was through performing. And the second I found confidence in myself was the second I started gaining attention. The issue that I started to realize is that none of those girls who were into me weren't into me. They were just into me for the talent that I had. They were just into me for what I presented into the situation. And I started to realize that at a very, very, very young age. I don't know if it's the same for Rohan, but I've actually witnessed that you could be the dopest dude on the planet and 90% of the women in the room won't give you
bitch.
Reason being is because they just see you as the nice guy. They just see you as the guy who's going to do everything, or they just see you as just some loser that they shouldn't give their attention to you. The second you become an asshole, or the second you become broken to the point where you no longer take the bullshit, is when some people try to break through that barrier you try to create now. Now you're trying to create a facade of toughness or a facade of, I don't give a fuck about these bitches and yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to run through them. And then you find that one or two people who actually care about your heart and want to put themselves first and put you first. But the issue you have is that you're still disdained. You still remember all those shitty times you were treated incorrectly, and you don't all the way let her in. So that's where the cheating might come in. That's just to answer that question. The second side of it is also when it comes to Rohan. When you're a good guy, I have noticed, it does not matter how much you do. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how much you step up. It's not until the person that you meet that meet your same personality, or they have the same interest as you, or my personal favorite, you're already in a relationship. Nothing brings you, as a man, nothing brings you more opportunity to other women. And I'm being honest, the second you're in a relationship, the second other women see you doing better for somebody else now they see what they're missing. So now all the eyes come running. All those girls you used to think you could have talked to, all those girls you never thought you had a chance with, all of a sudden come running. That's another thing that adds to this quandary, because men, like I said, we've never had the ability to say no. It's a building process. You get to that first stage of not understanding yourself. So guess what? You get rejected a lot. Then the second
Hey,
stage.
let's just keep this really simple.
Yeah.
Pussy's pussy to men. Certain pussy, but you got a wide variety, and you will go for that wide variety.
Then we all wonder why girls started becoming so savage, because look how y'all behave, right? So now you're mad that we stepped up to the plate and tried to serve you with the same shit that you try to serve us. So like now y'all mad all of a sudden, being like, why is my girl treating me like this? Because bitch, you did it first, like, you know.
Because they're like, hold on, they're always saying, they're always saying, yo, females are so fucking ruthless these days and whatever. Bruh,
really?
How did we get this way?
Right?
How did we get this way?
How did we do this?
Let me explain. The whole problem that you have on both sides is like I said to you, it's not even the fact that the savageness from women that it's experiencing that's almost the issue. The savageness is basically a response.
I'm gonna kill him.
Like, I think it's
come to your house and I'm gonna rip your balls off. You talking shit.
I think it's both sides. I think we've gotten to a stage where certain men, I'm not saying all of them, but certain dudes feel like they're attacked for actually being good.
Daddy.
I'm going.
Do your job, daddy. Do your job, daddy.
That's the only
daddy
one.
Duties.
Oh my god.
Hi, AJ.
Wow.
Don't let nobody call you daddy, okay?
Adorable. Aw.
Get off the camera.
Yeah.
But look,
duties.
let's wrap this up.
I'll just finish my point and get back to him. I think the biggest problem that I said on both sides, this male and female dynamic, that I think, like I said, it's lack of confidence. Like I said to you, I don't know. I'm not speaking for all men. I can't speak for all men. All I can do is speak for myself and the people that I've seen. I have witnessed. All right, I'll take one perfect example of a short story. One of my brethren, David, he's been in great relationships every time he gets a relationship. Literally.
I hope he don't watch this shit because he's gonna fuck you up for this.
No. It's common knowledge. I'm not talking anything that he doesn't know, and everybody else knows the story. So he knows who. If he watches, he knows Wagwan.
Don't ever tell me to put Vaseline on my feet again. I'll be crusty as I want. Go ahead.
Basically, don't kill me. His entire identity has been going from girl to girl to girl or whatever else, and there's a reason for it. He's never addressed the biggest issue he's ever had. It's not the fact that he doesn't want a relationship, or it's not the fact that he doesn't love the women he's with. You know what his biggest problem with is? The guy has supreme abandonment issues. He's got abandonment issues from his mom and his dad having their bad relationship. His mom basically stuck by herself for her entire life, and you witnessed that. And he saw that as some sort of like destruction from his dad. He blames his father for not having his mom move on. And the problem that created was every single woman he gets into a situation where it's a great relationship, he self-sabotages. The second he gets into a decent situation where he feels she's about to have kids, like she wants kids,
okay, so
great, he self-sabotages. And there's a reason for it. It's because he's never put value in on himself to see the value in the relationship. It's both sides. I think
it's not even a value of yourself. It's just you're betting on the fact that the person's gonna walk out. That's literally what I do in relationships.
Right.
Like if it's in the beginning, I will almost bet on the fact that you're gonna do some fuck shit before I get to the point that I'm ready to give everything to you. Like,
right, you're fucking right. You're right on that. Well, I know Andrew was speaking on, males, and we're speaking on females because we're just so.
I don't speak from every side. I'm just speaking from my side and the people, the relationships that I've witnessed. Like cheating, all of it comes down to inner confidence. Even the guys I ask, or even myself, or anybody else who's had this problem, the people you talk down to, when they actually tell you the story about why they actually cheated, it never is a good story. It never makes sense. It's not like they can say clearly.
It don't make sense to you to the person who's being cheated on. But for some stupid reason, it makes sense to the person that's cheating.
Like in
Which, right.
I've had a lot of guys, like bringing back to love language, I've had a lot of guys tell me that because I'm not verbally expressive, like as a lot of females are, like a lot of girls will literally sit there and be like, oh my God, I love you so much. You're like the best. Like, I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I used to be that person. I feel like that kind of nipped me in the butt, like being that person. So I can't bring myself to be that person anymore. So how I bring it back to love language is how I show
in the butt.
No,
yeah, it nipped me in the butt.
Oh,
in the butt?
I thought she said nipped it in the bud, but wow, that was a total miss.
In the butt. Are you saying you like anal?
What the fuck? No, like, girl.
I just needed to ask. Anyway,
no, wow.
It was getting too serious. I
going
need to like just slow the roll.
More or less is I'm not a verbally expressive person anymore because I used to be, and I feel like that made me very vulnerable. And even the people that I was vulnerable with, like, cheated on me in a sense, I guess, or whatever. But what I find that like most people tell me now is like I don't verbalize it enough to them how much I care, but I'm an active like service person. So like if I'm like catering to you, if I'm letting you, like I live alone, so if I let you like stay at my house with me, like that kind of thing or whatever, if I'm providing for you, I feel like that's my way of showing that I like you. And like literally I've been cheated on because of the reason that I will not verbalize it. Men apparently need to hear that value, like validation or like that gratification of like, oh, she told me, like, you know, like doing it is not enough for you. Like you guys actually need to hear it more or less and or like feel it.
Rohan?
I don't think
Rohan?
the problem we all
No
have
point talking.
as a whole.
Sorry, you made me laugh so bad. I think I just dripped the pee in my pants. Give me a second. Give me a second, Rohan, yo, you're too fucking funny. Sorry,
Hey, where'd Sam go?
You look like the uncle who's on the grill. I tell you, it's a good barbecue outfit.
Yo, no, he is not no uncle. You know, he looked like fucking. I love it when you call me Big Pop. Hey. So you know what? We're not gonna call you Daddy. We're gonna call you Big Papa.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
But yo, let me lighten this thing up right quick before we get off. Let me lighten it up real quick. I know this conversation got really serious. I just want to say to everybody who doesn't have a Valentine, it's okay not to have a Valentine. It's okay not to have a boyfriend. It's okay not to have a girlfriend. Right? Like, just live your life. It's only one day, and it was man-made. Just live your life.
Well, they're all man-made, Tia. But you're right.
What?
They're all man-made. Yeah. All the holidays are man-made. But
all
with that being said, you are correct. Like, people should be taking advantage of this day, not only to celebrate relationships, but celebrate yourselves, you know, learn to love yourself. If you're in an active relationship, not only sit there and shower your partner with gifts and make them feel good about themselves, but if there's any concerns or issues,
Rohan, you're
did I lag?
frozen.
Oh,
no,
you're back.
Yeah.
I guess it just timed out. It's just like, yeah, you're not participating. Bye. Anyways, so
no, babe, what the fuck you doing?
As I was saying, like, you know, the people who are in couples or relationships, yes, celebrate your love and be able to enjoy it. But also, if there's components of your relationship that you need to improve on, then you should be able to have open dialogues to be like, hey, you know what? Not argumentative, but hey, where are we going? What's future? What's our direction? Are we on the right path? Are we on the right ship? Because again, the stress of trying to keep up with the Joneses leads to a lot of compromised relationships going into the summer, right? The people who are single, take the time to self-reflect and improve on yourself, treat yourself, you know, you can take care of yourself. It's cheap. Like if I'm like, yo, it'd be nice to get a massage for my loved one, I can spend that same money to go and get a professional massage, right?
But you know what?
A good meal, right?
So it's not the end of the day if you're not in a relationship. Like, take an opportunity to self-reflect. If you just came out of a bad relationship, figure out what your wants are, your directions are realistically, not the superficial that I was talking earlier, right? You may have
Yeah.
to change the parameters instead of being like, yo, like every six figure I go after, he cheats on me because he feels like he's a king and he can get whatever woman I want. So maybe I should change my spectrum. Height shouldn't be a requirement. This shouldn't be a requirement. Maybe I should re-engage on the type of relationships that I do and how I present myself to a relationship. Some cases, it's what you bring to the relationship too, right? And that's why I'm always saying it's always a struggle for some people, because there are good people out there who says, I have a lot to give, like Stephanie, expert cook. She's like, I don't know why this is happening, right? I should be more than my
Expert.
pretty face, right? But again, relationships are being so devalued these days and saturated. Because this is where
Right.
we're going. Hyper aggressive males and savage women. Why? Like, that should be the anomaly, not the norm.
Yeah. So does anybody else want to say something like your ending statement?
Yeah. I'll end it with, all right. But I didn't get to basically sum up my story because I was dealing with a family emergency. So this perfectly ties in, actually. The story of like my worst Valentines was stretched. It wasn't just one Valentine. It was 7 years of not having somebody as a Valentine. It was bad due to the fact that I had to realize that every year throughout whole 7 years, I was like, why don't I have a girlfriend? Like, why don't I have somebody else with me? Or why isn't there somebody in my life? But then I had to realize that it wasn't about the Valentine. I had that or God may have had that plan for me to work on myself within that 7 years. Because once I finally started getting my life straight and I started finally getting everything else and all my things in order, I met my wife. And I've been with her now for 11 years. We have a kid together. It's a wonderful experience. But what I'm trying to say to people as a final thought is take the time to work on yourself. Because here's the thing, it's a hard thing for me to say, but it's an honest thing for me to say. Some people aren't ready for relationships, and some people aren't built for relationships. The fact that you're alone, there's a reason.
Tia, mute your microphone, Tia.
I had to pee so
Anyway,
bad.
go ahead. I'm just saying.
Rohan, can you cut? Sir, we're live, right?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay. When did we start going live?
A little while ago, because we were having audio issues.
Good. Listening.
You want me to pause your video?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Don't nobody know what I'm doing. Okay,
We all
anyway.
know what you're doing. We all know what you're doing.
Front to back. I'm joking.
Oh, this girl.
Yo, Andrew, finish, and so that we can all finish. I have something to say. I want everybody else to say what they have to say.
So as I was saying, the reason why I think it's the harshest thing to say that some people shouldn't be in a relationship, and there's a reason for that. Not because like you don't deserve love or because like, the universe is against you, but maybe there's something in your life that you need to fix before the universe finds attraction for you. Because I truly actually believe that we all have somebody out there for us if we want them. Like if we truly actually apply that same narrative that we look for others internally, like that same strictness that we have on the people we want in our lives and the same strictness of the things that we won't accept, if we apply that same strictness towards our lives, then we will attract somebody who has that exact same willingness to love you. I think the biggest problem we have in today's society is exactly what Rohan said. We're hyper-aggressive society pushing this narrative that to get what you want, you have to be aggressive, not seeming to realize that that is not normal. We need to get back to what is normal. Living life is normal. Being alone is normal. Loving yourself is normal.
Yo,
Being
look, at this point, everything's fucking normal.
it's normal.
Yeah.
Look,
COVID
Valentine's
is
Day,
normal.
as we said, is just a man-made holiday, bruh.
Yeah.
Yo,
Like,
you don't
especially
have, even if you
advantage.
feel,
Like,
even if you feel alone, you're not alone because you were alone yesterday and the day before and the day before that,
mhm.
or maybe the weekend before or anything before that. So you're not lonely, bruh. It's just a fucking holiday that tricks your mind into being just that fucking.
Love a month.
She said, "Love a month."
Love a month. Yes.
I can't.
Damn it,
You know
one of
what
you
I'm
was
saying?
supposed to say Shaba in the background.
Shaba.
There you go.
But I wanted to say to everybody that's following, you know, it might have not been as hype as you thought, but we did this because we're here for you. Anti-Valentine's Day. We are not really that great with Valentine's Day. So whatever you do, just know that, yo, you're loved regardless. You are thought about regardless. Everything. Everything's good. Don't fucking think about this shit like it's Christmas. It's not fucking Christmas.
And if you can't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else?
Right.
Amen.
Facts.
Hey!
Facts.
That's Stephanie shit right there. Yo,
But
this
facts,
has
though.
been a great, successful show, and I'm glad that we have, you know, came together on this day to, you know, make everybody realize that shit. It's cool. We all out here, we ain't shit, nothing people.
Mm.
Hey, man.
Hey,
One thing-
Rohan, I appreciate how you look. I love it how you call me big cat.
I might as well lean into it.
Bruh.
He's like, yo, I'm getting mad love for this look.
Hey, you know what? My
You know, he's
middle name
gonna
is
get mad
Christopher,
love
so
for
I
that
might
look.
as well.
Hey, yo, for real. I didn't know it was Christopher, so we can call you Big Wallace now?
Bruh, I
Yeah,
said
you
this
can.
before we even started the video.
Hmm.
Stephanie, what are you doing tonight, mama?
Nothing. I'm here.
You wanna come over to my house?
I was about to hit you up after this podcast anyway. So
Yeah,
I'm glad we're
there's
on
a-
the same page.
Okay, well, there's a get
Well, it looks like they
together
have
at
a
my
date.
house right now. So
I know. It just everything's just all left out.
Social distancing. I'm just kidding. Due to COVID, I will not be coming to your house. I will hit you up later. Anyways,
bitch, do you see your shirt? Anything is possible.
Possible.
And do you see this shirt? Fuck love. This is all about this podcast. Fuck love. Oh, where do I position myself? Yeah, it's not happening. Anyways, I love you guys. I love the viewers. We fucking love you guys for tuning in. Whoever tuned in and whoever's tuning in after.
yes,
It's
sir.
Valentine's Day and we don't give a fuck.
All right,
don't
well,
care.
let's head out. Everyone have a good night. Happy Valentine's Day to
Yeah,
everyone
happy
who's watching.
Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
We
And
love
if
you.
somebody
Bye,
Take care.
guys.
we love you.
All right,
Mwah.
happy Savage, happy Valentine's. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Stephanie, we're bye.
Bye.